Hello again, and welcome back to Balance Community Slack Tips for Beginners. Today we're going to be talking about how to balance correctly using your arms instead of your chest. To begin, we're going to go to our imaginary slackline on the ground. You can imagine yourself locking your chest in three-dimensional space and only moving your arms as much as possible. As your left arm goes up, your right arm goes down, and vice versa. Notice my chest is in the center. It's not forward. It's not too far back. I'm going to have my knees slightly bent, and I'm balancing, looking forward, chest center. Okay, let's try it on the line. Stand up and put your back foot on. You want to be looking ahead at the anchor or at the tree, knees slightly bent, and your chest aligned with your hips. You don't want to have your chest forward like this, because then what might happen is when you go to take a step, the line shakes and you can't find it again and you miss. And notice also that I'm balancing with my arms as much as I can, not with my chest. Try to make sure that all of your muscles are relaxed. I know this probably sounds impossible in the beginning, but the more you can relax and release any tension in your body, the easier it's going to be to balance. If you feel your shoulders coming up, try to remind yourself to bring them down. Your wrists, let your wrists be loose, your elbows. A lot of people also find an invisible wall right here, and their arms don't go past this invisible wall. If you feel that happening, try to remind yourself to let your arm go down and then bring it back. Let the other arm go down. Let them move kind of like the hands of a clock. Any correction that you make should be controlled and fluid. If you're doing this, you can see I can't even control that. So resist the urge to flail your arms wildly and try instead to move your arms slow, controlled, and fluid. This just takes time and practice. Don't worry, you will get it eventually. If in the beginning you're moving your chest and your arms like crazy, it's totally normal, but just remember that the goal is ultimately to be relaxed on the line and let your body and your muscle memory kind of take over and do the balancing for you. Also, let's talk a little bit about breathing. Breathing is super important on the slackline in any form. One thing you can do is actively focus on your breath, and a good way to do this is to make your breathing audible. If you can hear your own breath, then it's going to force you to think about it. And this will make you calm and also will make the line calm. This takes a lot of practice, guys, so don't get frustrated and don't worry if you're not able to do this immediately. Alright, great job, guys. Remember, forming bad habits early on is super hard to correct later. So if you really focus on these fundamentals early in your slacklining career, it's going to be worth it in the long run. Great job, you guys. See you next time on Balance Community Slack Tips for Beginners.